Hello, Steeler Nation. Welcome to your Steeler Nation Vidcast, part of the Big Play Vidcast Network, sponsored by Total Sports Enterprises. I'm your host, Stryker, and before we get into it, I just want to thank our sponsors again for putting up a brand new jersey to give away. Go over to either Steeler Nation over at Twitter at Steeler Nation or Total Sports Enterprises at Total Sports ET. They are giving away right now Minkah Fitzpatrick's Color Rush jersey, giving it out tomorrow. Really easy. All you got to do on Twitter, follow Steeler Nation, follow Total Sports ENT, and follow VC2Art. Then retweet it, and you are good to go. You're automatically entered. Good luck to you, Steeler Nation. I hope you are the one that pulls down that signed Minkah Fitzpatrick jersey the same way Minkah Fitzpatrick pulls down interceptions for Steeler. Hope everyone's doing well out there. I'm super busy now. I run a marketing promotions company, and now we're starting to really get fired up. So we've got like 21 events here in the next 13 days. So I'm just kind of wired right now, just trying to get everything done. But I have to talk about Mitchell Trubisky. It is now Mitchburg, people. I have to get on the Trubisky. I was leaning Skins. I don't know. I might have been more excited for the draft. But what comes out today? But Mitch is like, hey, what's up, Steelers? Why don't you everybody come on down to Florida House? We'll all hang out. We'll get some drinks. We'll have some food. We'll throw the football around. We'll get to know each other. It'll be a blast. Invite down all the receivers. Hopefully, Muth is down there too, but definitely Najee Harris is supposed to be there as well. So thank you, Sean McGowan, for that article over at Steeler Nation. Didi Kinkabwala's tweet. So really, really interesting stuff. So right now, guys, looks like Mitchell Trubisky wants to be a leader in Pittsburgh. I mean, he's got every single reason to want to be a leader in Pittsburgh, and he has 4 million extra reasons to want to be a leader in Pittsburgh. Let's talk about his new contract, which we know. Thank you very much to Justin McGonigal for writing an article over there at SteelerNation.com, which dropped today. The contract that we all know is a 2-year contract, base value of $14.285, but the potential to pay out up to $27 million. And some of these details came out today. One of them being if Mitchell plays at least 60% of the snaps, which means if he's starter for most of the season, then he will earn about another $4 million in incentives. Also has a chance to earn another $280,000 bonus if he makes the Pro Bowl. Now, I don't see anyone making the Pro Bowl outside of like Mahomes. You got Lamar. You got the other guy over there, Terry. Now we got Wilson coming into town. My gosh, it's like there's like 6 or 7 great quarterbacks. I mean, probably not going to get one, but good chance of getting that $4 million. If he's a starter. Another chance to get it again next year. And the way that breaks down to is they are not likely to be earned just because Mitchell Trubisky was not a starter last year. If Mitchell Trubisky was a starter last year, these would be listed as likely to be earned escalators and bonuses, which would count on this year's salary cap. But since he didn't play last year at all of that money, if he makes those 60% of his snaps, that $4 million goes on next year's cap. So still have room to operate this year. Don't have to worry about it this year. Might become likely to be earned as opposed to not likely to be earned this year, only because he wasn't a starter last year with Buffalo. But if he's a starter this year, he earns his $4 million this year. Next year, probably have both of those bonuses hitting the contract, that extra $8 million. But hey, still, very, very affordable contract. Unfortunately, Justin was also included the outs of the contract and what it would cost the Steelers if the Steelers decide to move on from Trubisky, or if they find that quarterback or Mason's their quarterback, or if they draft their new quarterback and they like him and they go with him. If they get rid of Trubisky, he has a base salary of $1 million this season. Next season is $8 million. So the cap charges would be $3.6 million this year and $10 million next year. Not horrible. Not horrible for getting of a contract for a starting quarterback in the NFL. Very well written. Really interesting, but I do love what Mitchell is doing down there in Florida, guys. What are you thinking, guys? This is your podcast. This is my favorite podcast of your vidcast, I got to say. My favorite vidcast week, my favorite cast of the week, I should say, because I get to talk with you guys directly. Obviously, a show would not be a show here at Steeler Nation without hearing Kenny Beamer. Kenny, let's go. Great to hear from you, Kenny. I don't think you've ever missed a show, my friend. You are the absolute man. Let me know your questions, man. Happy to talk with you again tonight. Nick Warren, welcome to the show. Mitch is trash. 6-11. Great. Hey, that's a great opinion. That, he was trash for a trash team over in Chicago as well. That was so bad. This Chicago team was so bad, Nick. They drafted Mitchell Trubisky at number 2. Number 2, not number 1, number 2. Means they were trash. It means they won maybe a couple games that year. What did they do the next year with Mitch as their starting quarterback, Nick? 11 wins. 11 wins. Made the playoffs. Oh gosh. Am I going through this? Absolute trash. Here we go. Absolute trash. Got it back. But what was he? 11 wins. Won his division. Second year in the league in a division that has Aaron Rodgers. That always wins that division. If he was coming to our team that was a trash team, I could see you having some say there at 6-11. Maybe 6-11 if Rudolph's starting, but Mitch is starting. I think we got a better shot. He's more mobile. We can run that full offense there from Canada. See if he actually can run an offense, but we'll see. But thanks for chiming in, Nick. Good or bad, I will take all your comments. Miles Pressgraves, back again. Good to hear from you again, Miles. If I win his jersey, I will get Steeler Nation tattooed on my arm. I am praying for you, Miles, because nothing would make me happier than seeing a Steeler Nation tattoo on your arm. Hopefully not with my face on it. I'd hate for you to have to deface your body like that. Frank K. Can't believe Mitch invited Mason as well. But that, you kind of think it I tell you the truth, Frank, I thought Mitch was going to play it quiet, Rudolph's got in there. They're telling him he's going to be the guy. And then they sign Haskins on his RFA. They tell him he's going to be competing. I'm competing too. But leaders are not afraid of competition. Leaders know that some of these guys are going to be teammates no matter what next year. Mitch might be backing up one of those two guys. Or one of those two guys might be backing up them. I think it's not going to be all three of those guys on the roster, guys. I really don't. I think ultimately somebody's going to get butthurt. Somebody's going to be wanting to get kicked out of the door during training camp or at the end of training camp and is going to get cut out of those three. I don't think it's going to be Mitch. I just don't. I think he's too talented. I don't think it's going to be Haskins. I think right now we have our own Baker Mayfield in the house. He's a bit of a curmudgeon. Is not the nicest personality with all of the reporters that we have spoken with in our interactions. So if a guy feels he's being slighted with that kind of ideas, he might be our Baker Mayfield and want to leave town as well. Just probably not as well as Baker Mayfield's going. Baker Mayfield's going to get paid some money. He's going to make some good money this year. I don't know if he's going to be making Mitchell Trubisky money, but we'll see. We'll see this year. Mitchburg, Pittsburgh. Thank you, Michael Hall. Completely am super excited about this. Yes. And yes, Miles, it was lagging. I did switch it over. It should be running clean now. Let me know, guys. Shoot me a comment here just to let me know if it's running clean or give me some thumbs up. I see a thumb up just shot up right there. Questions, comments, obviously, let me know. But another thing that I wanted to talk about was this whole free agency thing going on. If you heard Taco Tuesday happened, but it happened for a different team. Taco Charlton is no longer a Pittsburgh Steeler. He is gone, and he is going to be signing with wrong spreadsheet. Here he is. Taco just signed with New Orleans. So have a great one down there, Taco. A lot of you guys at Steeler Nation too might be upset. Oh, we wanted Taco. It's crap. How can we let him go? But you guys forget, and a lot of people forget, because I'm not sure if you watch as much football as I do, but I watch a lot of Pennsylvania football, and I watch a lot of Philadelphia Eagles football. And I did notice their middle linebacker over there, their Sam linebacker, I should say, strong side linebacker. And why is he not on my sheet here? There it is. Jannard Avery. He's probably going to be projected to being an outside linebacker where we are. Good quarter. He's drafted to play 4-3 defensive end by Cleveland. Traded to Philly for a fourth rounder to play linebacker and played. He started in 12 of the 16 games last season at Sam. And that transitions. If he played defensive end on a 4-3, come to Steelers in a 3-4, he's supposed to be playing outside linebacker. So we'll see how it goes with that transition. But Avery's a starter, ladies and gentlemen. Taco Charlton, not a starter. Not a starter. Hasn't been for a while. Off of rookie year, and still was never great. I don't even know if he played every game, but Avery's a starter. We've got a starter as our third rotational outside linebacker currently. And that is with great under the radar pickup for Steeler Nation. So now I'll get on Miles back again. So many people pooping on Money Mitch. Since it was announced he was coming here, I was 100% sold. He deserves an opportunity to be a part of this goated franchise. Who cares about him? I can't argue with you, Miles. I wanted to not like the Mitch Trubisky pickup. You know, I called him another project player, like a Dwayne Haskins, a highly drafted quarterback with all the talent in the world, but just is not a starter. And is he going to be a starter with us? Who knows? But then again, he did play for 3 different head coaches in 4 seasons in Chicago. 3 different head coaches. That's crazy. So I can see why he left town there. Backed up behind Buffalo because he lost musical chairs last year. Nobody needed a quarterback. He's sitting there twiddling his thumbs. Got paid this year, though, man. Got paid this year. Thanks, Kenny. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I appreciate you guys knowing. Tim, hey, Tim, how you doing, bro? Stryker, you know where Yinzers have been? Yeah, they're over now. We both post on Yin's Hers, I guess. Yeah. We both post on DK Pittsburgh Sports. We're part of their podcast network. So if you follow their podcast network on Twitter, which is DK PN Podcast, I believe it's called. But search for DK Pittsburgh Sports Podcast Network, and it'll pop up on Twitter. Yinzers are there, or go to DKPittsburghSports.com. But Yinzers are there. We're there. Steeler Nation, my podcast is there. Fifth Avenue's there, which they got a good one for the Pirates. They got a great one for Penguins as well, with Jordan from Yinzers as well, who's one of the hosts of the Penguins podcast. A lot of great stuff over there. So great. Thanks for asking, Tim. I appreciate that, guys. Go to DK Pittsburgh Sports. I know that's also linked on their podcast sources. So on Apple, Spotify, all that crap, you'll be able to find us all through there for the DK Pittsburgh Sports Podcast Network. Cool. Michael Hall. All good on my end, boss. Awesome. I'm glad. Yeah. When it was going, I saw it was clipping. So then I just switched networks on the fly, and I'm going to start doing that quicker. So it's not as much of an issue on the show, or like do it right before I cast. But I was just so quick to trying to jump up 2 minutes late. Wanted to get up as close to 7 o'clock as I could. And don't always remember everything I want to remember. Timwa! They are smarter than the collective Ravens fan base. Truth. Absolute truth, Tim. Absolute truth. Brian Brown, wait until Trubisky throws 3 picks and the Steelers lose. pitchforks and torches. That's any Steeler quarterback, though, Brian. And great to hear from you too, Brian. Love hearing from you, man, every time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how old a lot of you guys are. I know some of you older head. Brian, probably a little. Robert, I see, is on the board here coming up. He's an older head too. We remember a name called Mark Malone. Thus far, I've never seen a quarterback as bad as Mark Malone in Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, if you did not have to watch mid-'80s Pittsburgh Steelers football, it was the entire reason that I learned swear words when I was a kid was my dad swearing at Mark Malone. Absolute worst quarterback ever. Not to say a quarterback, even good quarterbacks will have games where they'll throw 3-4 interceptions, but just don't do it consistently and don't do it in the playoffs. Tim Y. I watched some DK. They might be taking a break I think they are. They don't post as much as I do in the off season. They kind of slow up a little bit. Plus they're in 3 different time zones. You got like Jordan in the East, you have Morgan in the Central in Texas, and then you have out West, you got Sam in Arizona. So it's always tough for them to have to try to grab that stuff from YouTube. Yeah, definitely. I think they should have their sites and stuff up too. I know they still have their Twitter as well. Robert, finally caught you live again, and you got to be happy, Robert. I know they're talking about some Houston players possibly going to the Steelers. Steelers possibly looking at that cornerback over there that you asked me about so many weeks ago, back before I was even in getting an inkling of starting to look toward the draft. But anything you want to pop out for Houston, you want to pimp your Houston guys, happy to talk about it here on the vidcast, my friend. Thank you, Cooley. Awesome. Miles, do you think the hype for Honey Badger is dying down after he visited the Saints? No, I still think and it's not hype. It's the problem is strong safeties are weak in free agency. I'll repeat it again. Strong safeties are weak in free agency. Strong safeties can get re-signed by their teams to good contracts, but when it comes to free agency, they sit and they sit and they sit and they want to get cornerback money, but they don't. So they sit and they sit, and the draft comes. People get their players. They're still sitting there wanting that big payday. But now, we don't need you. They're sitting. Okay, we'll come and we'll play for... Whereas right now, I think Honey Badger wants to make like 16 to 18, honestly. Honestly, I will put that down. I bet you that's his numbers. Because otherwise, he'd be signed already. If he was going to be 10 to 14 range, he'd be signed already. Getting up 14 to 18... That's when the other teams start going, we'll wait till the draft and see what happens. We'll see who else is out there. KZ's still out there, sitting, waiting. Edmund's still out there. Edmund's a 4-year freaking starter. Nobody's jumping at him. And it's not going to take a lot of money to sign him. Heck, his tag would have been like $6 million. Steelers didn't want to pay that. We might be getting him back around $3 million. That's why he's sitting. Strong safeties are weak in free agency. Michael Hall, I could be wrong, but I'm hearing that talks that Colbert is thinking about bringing back Terrell Edmunds. Big mistake if he does. I know he hasn't been injured, but why does he struggle to make plays? I'm with you there, Mike. Michael, especially having such a talented player like Minkah Fitzpatrick next to you, you got to be making plays. And the fact that he doesn't, to me, he's just a guy. He's just a guy. The only thing that would make me happy, Hall, would be financially, because he's going to be signed for peanuts. He's going to be signed in the $2 to $4 million range, honestly. And that's insane for a 4-year starter at strong safety in the NFL. Zero. Crickets in free agency. Crickets. Nobody's going out there scrambling to pick up. Oh, we got to get Terrell Edmunds. He's amazing. Did you see him with the Steelers the last 4 years? Yeah. We saw him with the Steelers the last 4 years. That's why we haven't re-signed him yet. But if they resign him, it will be financially viable reason to do so. That was it. Yeah, Robert Cooley knows. Malone was awful. Awful with a capital aw. And full of it. Go over to Steeler Nation, guys. These are all our Steeler Nation friends from the SteelerNation.com football forum. Free to join, free to sign up. I know Robert posts as Cooley Man over there. I post as Stryker. I used to post as Cope, but now they made me change my name back to Stryker, which is fine because you guys know me as Stryker. So I'm easier to find if you want to bust my balls. Definitely down with that. Ed Seeger over from Facebook in the house. In Trubisky, we trust. I'm starting to jump on board, Ed. I like what he's doing with this whole bringing everybody down, even the other quarterbacks. Like I've heard quarterbacks bring down the receivers, bring down the tight ends, smart to bring down Najee Harris as well, guys. Why? Why is it smart to bring down Najee Harris? Because he had the number 2 amount of receptions on the team last year. As a rookie, setting the rookie record for 76 receptions in a rookie season. Of course you want those hands down there catching balls. From Mitch, from Haskins, from Rudolph. But I've never, ever, ever heard of a quarterback inviting the other quarterbacks down before. That's a ballsy move. It's a leadership move. And it's a Pittsburgh move. I'm all for it. Absolutely all for it. That is a reason for me to click one more dial over a little bit more toward Trubisky, where I was more of a Haskins man, but we'll have to see how it shakes out in preseason. Timoy! He had a good game on Monday night. He did have one good game on Monday night. He had some good games in general for Chicago, if we're talking about Trubies. But yeah, I like the pickup. Malone was horrible. Yes, Kenny. Oh, bleh. We need Jones. Are you talking about Jones, the defensive? Is that the Houston Jones, or is that Jones, the defensive lineman that we're trying to grab for interior lineman on the team? Clarify that for me there, Cooley. I appreciate it. Brian Brown. Mark Malone caught one of the most beautiful passes Bradshaw ever threw for a 94-yard touchdown. Then we saw Malone quarterback. Yeah, he also blew out his ACL as a receiver, too, when he was catching passes from Bradshaw. And that may have affected his ability to be a quarterback because they did not have the ability to reattach those ACLs as well as they do. Now it's perfect science. It's down. I mean, people are coming back now in like 4 months, where it used to be 9 months, where it used to be a year, 2 years. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible what they're doing with medical science. Michael Hall, do you happen to know our current cap amount and if we have a chance to extend Minkah and sign Matthew, if the numbers and number of years are right for both? I've heard some numbers thrown around somewhere between 10 and 12 mil. What do you need, V? Are you okay?
I don't know. I hurt really bad.
Okay. Come on in here, hon. Sit down. So my daughter just hurt her shoulder. We're going to check on it. Can you lift it up over your head?
It hurts when I lift it up.
What did you do?
So I was playing with the dog, like when she was upstairs.
Yeah.
And I fell into my shoulder really hard.
Okay.
And it hurt really bad.
Go get an ice pack for it right now, okay? And I'll come up and I'll check it out when I get upstairs. But it's definitely in place, fortunately. And do you want to say go Steelers to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Say go Steelers.
Go Steelers.
Oh, look at your pajamas on. Show off these great pajamas. She's wearing her Steeler pajamas, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that little. Here's a taste into my home life. Yeah, honey, just going upstairs, throw an ice pack on there. I'll be sure to come on up there and check it out for real good when I get upstairs, okay? All right, sweetie. You can watch TV. Awesome. So cap amount right now, Michael Hall, we're looking between 10 and 12 million, depending on the sites we're looking at now. That does not include re-signing or signing the draft picks and stuff like that, which is going to eat another 5 mil off the cap. But Minkah won't count much against it because we did sign him to his 5th-year option. So whatever we sign him to will be beneath that for his first year. So we're going to save money on the Minkah signing no matter what, just like we did with Watt last year. When I was telling you, everybody 2 months ahead of with the Watt signing, I was saying he is going to cost less when we resign him this year because he had a $10 million cap hit for his 5th-year option. Same thing, that $8 million, $6 or $8 million for Minkah. It's going to be less when he resigns. I think they're going to resign him to $16 million a year for the next 4 or 5 years. Lock him up because he deserves to be a Steeler forever. And worst case, if they just treat it as an extension, then he still has that same amount just locked into there, what it is this season. So it's not going to adjust the cap. But they still have room to restructure as well. And their cap number is huge next year. So, yes, they could sign Honey Badger. But do they want to sign Honey Badger for an insane amount of money? It's not the first day of free agency anymore. He's not getting that money. He needs to come down a bit. And he's starting to realize that. Tim Y. He was a 6'4" quarterback from Louisiana. I think they'd hoped he was Bradshaw Bardew. I'm glad you went French Canadian, or Creole, French Creole down there, I guarantee, with that Pardue. That's some great stuff there, Team Y. And I love it, man. Love it. Yes, and funny enough, only 2 at that point, the only 2 quarterbacks drafted in the first round by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl era. Terry Bradshaw, Louisiana. Mark Malone, Louisiana. Thanks for putting a point on that one, Tim. That was awesome. Robert, you need to read my thread on Steeler Nation and get up to speed on the UH guys before draft day so you are not blindsided when one is drafted. I did. I have watched it. I haven't watched all of the highlights yet just because I've been so busy, but I will start watching more of these highlights as we get closer to the draft. Like just next week, I'm just in the weeds. Like I am on. That's why I'm doing the vidcast tonight. I was doing them Thursdays for a bit, but it's best to do it tonight. And I'm going to record the podcast tomorrow for the Friday release because I'm going to be on the road. I'm going to be on the road working, but I'll do as much as I can. And even when I'm on the road, I still do these. So it still ends up working out. Robert, Deontay Anderson is a safety, moved to linebacker, and they love those hybrid guys. I do, and I did see that guy on your list as well. So, yeah, that would be an interesting one to pick. Is he somebody, though, that can play strong safety in the NFL? Let me know about that because those hybrid guys usually could play, if they were a safety converted to middle linebacker, if they can play strong safety in the NFL, I'd be all for that. I'm still calling you Cope. However you want to cope with the name change, that's up to you, Cooley, man. I appreciate him. Break him down. Hell yeah, Tim Y. Hell yeah. Reggie Rivers, who's your choice to pick in the first round? I'm starting to move away from quarterback. I tell you, if we can get Hamilton at strong safety, if the Steelers move up in the first round, it might be for Hamilton strong safety. Last time we moved up for a strong safety, it was Troy Polamalu. How'd that work out? Ended in gold jacket. I like this Hamilton guy. And right now with quarterbacks are starting to get popping. We're starting to hear this quarterback talk. Pop, 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 pop. All these guys, like 5 of them might go before us. If that happens, I'll be the happiest man ever because somebody awesome dropped. Maybe a great corner back. Maybe a great defensive lineman like we're talking with, I think it's Jones that we were talking about. A defensive line on a couple of these shows. Or my personal favorite, wide receiver. Because I already know right now as we stand, there are going to be great wide receivers to draft right there in our spot at number 20. That would be an immediate day one starter. And we need one since Juju's gone. Ray's gone. Wash is gone. Let's get ourselves a starter. I'm all for getting one in the first round. Miles again. I want Mason gone. I think he's going to be an issue if he doesn't win the quarterback competition. I agree with you. I think it's like everything was set for him to be the guy. He's like, oh, they're going to give me the chance. Here we go. And here comes Mitchburg. Fudgicle. And we just had to see the makeup of the character of Mason Rudolph. He was willing to sit behind a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't know if he's willing to sit behind a quarterback that had to sit behind another quarterback over in Buffalo last year. I don't know if he'll be happy about that. But Trubisky was drafted second in the draft. Haskins was drafted 15th in the draft. Mason was drafted somewhere in the draft. Third round, fourth round, somewhere in the draft. There's a reason why we might not be going with Mason this year. I agree with you. Marcus Jones. Yes. Yeah, I'd be for that. Live podcasts are awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, you get to see my face and see all the crap that I'm talking about. And my daughter coming down with a busted shoulder. Oh, the best is her too. Like, she always, like, this happens a lot during podcasts. Usually she'll just open the door and shut the door. But this time I saw her hanging. And I'm like, she's got something going on there. But at least I was able to raise her arm all the way up. At least we're not going to the hospital. Cut the vidcast short on the sorry guys, got to cut the vidcast short. Daughter hurt herself fighting the dog. See you next week. No, but that's just the way it is here with live television, live internet vision, whatever the crap this crap is now. Michael Hall, I was watching a YouTube video yesterday with Arthur Moats being interviewed, and they may be thinking about signing Matthew after the draft if Colbert doesn't sign Edmonds. I'd be 100% for that. I'd be KZ. Bring KZ in. Anybody but Edmonds. Really, anybody but Edmonds. I'm done with Edmonds. I'm just done. I know what he is. He's a guy. He's going to make tackles. He's going to watch the guy catch the ball in front of him and make that tackle. He's going to turn around to try to make a play in defense and take a wrong angle, and somebody's going to bust off a big play. We see that basically just about every game or every other game out of him. He increased his TFLs last year. I like that. I did like that. He was a little bit more aggressive at the line of scrimmage, but he's got to be able to defend that ball in the air, and he just doesn't. Like, even when he intercepted that ball, we have to review that. I don't know if that was picked off. And even watching it, I'm like, I don't even know if that was a catch. He's just not a clean catcher. He's just not. He's not a playmaker. He's not a ball hawk. He's a guy. He's there. He's taking up space. Don't need him. Brian Brown. She has immaculate taste in fashion. I will tell her that, and she will eat that up. She will absolutely love that, Brian. That is great. That is great. Michael Hall. Even Arthur Moats wants Matthew to don the black and gold, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. Yeah, stranger things have happened, Hall. I'm hoping this is one of those stranger things. And that's why the talk right now, Aditi's already came out and talked about it. We've already reported over at SteelerNation.com that there's already talks to extending Minkah Fitzpatrick's contract maybe before the draft, which would be amazing. Because if we do, now we have a number. See that number? You're not going to make that number here, Honey Badger. That's a Minkah Fitzpatrick number. That's the Stinky Mink number, not the Honey Badger number. I got to come up with a different animal. The slick, I don't want to say Stinky Mink. It rhymed. Slick Mink. What kind of minks are out there? I'm going to Google this. What kind of minks? I had a big picture of a mink. There are two extent pinks. The American mink and the European mink. That's it. We don't have like honey mink or cobra eating mink or swimming mink. American mink, European mink. Not as fun. Stinky mink is better than that. They do stink. They have scent glands. All right, moving on. Ryan, how you doing, my friend? Looking forward to seeing Trubisky. I am starting to also, Ryan. He's showing that Pittsburgh may just be Mitchburg next year. Maybe. Brian Brown, hard to blame poor Mason. I know. He's like the Rodney Dangerfield of quarterbacks in Pittsburgh. He gets no respect. Tell you, he gets no respect. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. Even the year it was going to be his year. He started winning, doing well. Oh, starting to get on the Mitch train. Concussion happens in that Ravens game. End up losing it in overtime. Comes back in a couple weeks later. Gets brained by his own helmet in Cleveland. Internet labels him or memes him as a clown. So much of a clown that Rich Eisen, during the interview, brought up a classless, whatever, pick 3 or whatever stupid take crap freaking questions that he asked people. He went and asked a baited question to Rudolph. What kind of crown do you like better? It was a start, sit, and cut. It was Crown Royal, the Royal Crown Jewels, and the crown of a helmet. I mean, come on, man. But that's it. They treat him as a clown. They don't respect Mitch Trubisky because of the meme, because he got brained by Myles Garrett. Who, honestly, if Mitch Trubisky laid down on the ground and was taken off the field on a stretcher, Myles Garrett would not be in the league today. He wouldn't. The fact that he was able to walk off with a dented head after coming back from a concussion and not being given another concussion, I guess he has a hard head. But damn, yeah, it's rough. He gets no respect. Ryan, back again! Ryan Sharar. Feels like I'm saying something like, I don't know if you guys watch Ted Lasso, but when you say a word and it doesn't make, it just sounds like it's not even a word when you say it. It's like your last name, Ryan, but I love it. Absolutely love it, Ryan. Mason definitely needs to be gone. Here we go. Yep. Michael Hall, you should replace Mel Kiper when it's draft time in Las Vegas this year. I'd rather listen to you talk all 3 days of the draft rather than Kiper dissing the kings of the AFC North. Staying salty, hashtag 2021 sweep. Awesome, man. And hey, that's why I do the marathon. Mr. Hairnet, Aquanet Hairspray Kiper from Baltimore, Maryland. Oh, how about them O's? How about them Ravens, Horn? Yeah, we know where your allegiance lie there, Kiper. I used to read your damn articles back in the 90s, unfortunately. But yeah, that's it. Of course, he doesn't like us. But Steeler Nation, you can watch me. You can get Michael Hall's wish because I will be live all 3 days of the draft every single day, a half hour before the draft, all the way through. And Sunday, an hour after the draft, going over all the people we pick up as undrafted rookie free agents. I'm a crazy head, and I'll be doing it. I'll be doing it sober this year. I did it drinking last year, and it started because I'd take a drink. I'd have a drink for every single Steeler coming to the team. Yeah, day 1, you're fine with your 1 drink. Day 2, you're fine with your 2 drinks. But when you get to day 3, whoo! Once you start getting to 8, I couldn't drink at all when we started getting undrafted rookie free agents. I could line up shots or something. That would be horrible. A power hour or something. Man, can't do it. I can't do it. But go over. Steeler Nation will be right here. Probably right here on the YouTube. We'll be running it. I know Twitter. We'll be doing it on our multiple platforms. But all 3 days of the draft, I won't be taking a break. I'll be right here. I think I took maybe 5 minutes in the 3 days. 5 minutes of break. That was it. Once I had to run upstairs to grab food to bring it back down and eat it off camera. And I was still talking while I was off camera. But that stuff happens. Ryan, he has had too much time to prove himself. And, well, he's going to get 1 more year. I know you guys have seen him in the regular season. I've seen him in every preseason game, too. And I've seen marked improvement every year in preseason. And he played well last year in preseason. I thought he was playing more conservatively, whereas Haskins was taking a little bit more risks, which is why usually the Rudolph scoring drives ended in field goals. The Haskins scoring drives ended in touchdowns during the preseason last year. That's why I thought, but they were still scoring. Like Mason was still scoring. Mason was still getting touchdowns. He was still playing well in the preseason. I want to see the competition this year. I'm not about ready to throw the baby Mason out with the bathwater yet. Let's watch the training camp. But my prediction is if one of those three, Mitch, Haskins, Rudolph, has to go, it's probably going to be Rudolph. Probably going to be, especially if we draft a quarterback. Because honestly, like if we draft a quarterback, one of them has to go. And then it would either be Haskins or Rudolph, to tell you the truth, as having the biggest chance. Miles, I'm not sure who it is, but how do you think the cornerback who didn't allow a touchdown in his college career will do in the NFL? Probably pretty good. You want to draft a guy, somebody like that would usually get drafted like top 5. Probably be a shutdown corner in the NFL as well. Guy knows what he's doing. You know, it's tough enough to have to play on an island in college with skilled players and athletic quarterbacks that are going to get open. But to stick on a guy like glue and not allow a touchdown in your college career, especially if you played 3-4 years, that's pretty amazing. That's really amazing. That's a neat stat. I'll have to look that up. Jameen Zeno, how you doing? Y'all sleeping on Haskins. He will be the starting quarterback. Watch what I'll tell you. I'm a Haskins fan. I'm a Haskins fan. I will not lie. That's what I'm telling you. Like Mitch is starting. I'm starting to warm up to Mitch. But Haskins is my guy. And I've been riding Haskins along with general manager candidate Riddick, Louis Riddick. When I interviewed him, we were both super high on Haskins. Justin Fabus as well, country music star. He and I are really high on Haskins. And I still am. I still think that he has the ability to compete and be a good quarterback in this league. He might surprise us all. He might surprise us all. Robert, Deontay was a strong safety at UH. Cool. So stop confusing your quarterback. I do it all the time. Mason got crowned, not Mitch. Yes, thank you. Mason got crowned. It was an M word. I was close enough. Sober Cope shouldn't be messing up like that. Truth. And I will take a cheers to you, Cooley, honorary. Cheers to Steeler Nation for my new drink, since I don't drink alcohol anymore. I am now on Mountain Dew Spark, which is actually really like, I do a lot of work for Pepsi Cola. I'm a Mountain Dew guy. I don't drink a whole lot of Mountain Dew anymore until Spark came out. Spark is like a raspberry lemonade. It is phenomenal. And they have it in a 0 sugar too. And we're sampling the crap out of it right now. I'm addicted. Raspberry lemonade. Great stuff. I just saw a Charlie Day commercial with Spark saying new. Yeah, I'm with you. I can grow a little bit better beard than you can, Charlie, but I love your comedy, man. Love your Always Sunny in Philly. Always great stuff. Brian Brown, Charlie Sheen and Count Dracula had a baby. Mel Kiper. Love it, Brian. Absolutely spot on. Oh my gosh. I can't think of a better pairing. That's amazing. That coiffed. It's almost like Johnny Bravo meets Shana Na, but that's an old reference. That guy from Shana Na had a big bouffant hairdo as well. What is that? What do they call that? You old heads know what it's called. Chime in, tell me. Kenny Beamer. Are you switching side? Kenny, weren't you just on YouTube? You're on Facebook? Oh my gosh. He's got multiple screens going. He's got to get all of his questions up. Are we doing another 24-hour draft podcast this year? Yes. Yes, I will be in there. As long as the draft is on TV, you don't have to watch it on TV. You can watch us in our great Steeler-focused draft coverage. We don't care about the other teams as much. We'll talk about it a little bit. But we're going to talk about the Steelers almost exclusively. Hopefully have some more Steelers players on. Current players, former coaches. We're working right now trying to get our list together. Obviously, football talents, trying to get Dave back again too, because he was so fun to have on the cast last year. So we're working on the list. I'll be putting it together here soon. So I'll maybe start tweeting some things out, being like, oh, maybe this guy's going to be on the cast. Look out for this guy's going to be on the cast. Michael Hall, Mark Andrews can't catch. Oh, poor guy. Brian Brown, go Steelers! Thank you, Brian. Michael Hall. Even Mason knows we should have easily won the Lions game. Shake my head. I think that's another reason we are putting him down. Yeah, but I think we're also like, yeah, he missed that pass to Ray, but Freiermuth fumbled the ball. Who was the other one? There's two fumbles in that game. Was it Juju, the other one? There are two fumbles in that game in overtime. And we're hanging that. I think we're hanging that unreasonably on Mason. Yeah, he deserves some of the blame. He definitely deserves some of the blame for that tie. Not a loss. That tie. But if Muth or if it was either Juju or I remember Juju fumbled the overtime one in that Ravens one where he got hit perfectly by Humphreys. I mean, that was a great play by Humphreys when he punched the ball out. But yeah, you don't get those two fumbles, we win that game. Miles Haskins' issues came off the field. I don't know if he's solved those to be a starter yet. Big risk, but at least we haven't heard about any issues off the field in Pittsburgh. It's been quiet. He's been here for over a year now. So, yeah, so far so good. Then again, I mean, East Coast has a little bit better strip clubs, I think, than Pittsburgh. I don't know. I've never been to a Pittsburgh strip club. You guys tell me. Is it Pittsburgh strip club? Is there a Pittsburgh strip club in the strip district? Is there? Seems like there should be. Let me know. Michael Hall. We should draft Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. I've seen all Notre Dame games and he was savage at safety. But it could cost him in the draft. He was injured in his senior year, so he's 100%. Michael Hall, I think the Steelers might move up for a guy like him. He's going to be that much on the radar. Like, if we move up and we grab a guy like that, Honey Badger, we don't care. Edmonds, we don't care. We're not going to sign. Right now, it seems like the Steelers are not going to sign a strong safety before the draft unless somebody's number comes down severely. Honey Badger. You come down. Sha-na-na. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Man, that stuff still sticks in my head. Bowser, that's it. Bowser from Sha-na-na. That was the guy that did the with the big bicep. Doo-wop bands, man. Pile that hair up high like Brian Setzer. Hell yeah. Pompadour. Thank you, Cooley. Thank you. I actually have a hairstylist. I do. And he's in Maine. Gosh, where's his place in Maine? But he's a professional like hairstylist of like people in New York City. Like they'll drive up to Maine or they'll fly to Maine just to get haircuts from this guy. Oh gosh, pin up or haircut, hair barber in Maine. I'm just looking up right now. I know it'll come up. His name's Donnie Smith, friend of the family. Here we go. Oh, maybe it's Donnie with a Y because Google usually does a better job about that kind of stuff. Yep. Expert Barber, Classic Barber Studios. There it is. Go to classicbarberstudios.com. Check out my boy Donnie. I've gotten a haircut in his studio in what is it? Kittery, Maine. What's the name of that damn town? I'm not from Maine. Kittery, Maine. But dude, like he is insane. Tats. He's got like it's a cool place because you can go there and hang out. He has whiskey on tap there. You can have a whiskey. You can have beer on tap there, or beer cans. They've got a tattooist there as well. You can get massages. You get shaves. You can get haircuts. TVs everywhere. Really cool setting. Check out classicbarberstudios.com. But as far as pompadours go, my man Donnie's got an amazing one. He really does. So thanks for making me remember about that kind of stuff too. Kenny Bieber, I'm everywhere. Facebook. Yes, you are, man. Yes, you are. Bowser. Deontay was the one that fumbled. Thank you. Deontay was the one that fumbled in overtime. I appreciate that, Brian. Thank you. Think you are correct, Robert. Hey, Robert likes to be correct a lot. He will say he's the most intelligent poster as well. Though it's a capital I and a T. I don't know if it's an IT joke the way you did it. I'm not sure. It's maybe it might be. Michael Hall, how many picks do we have this year at the moment? Let's look it up. Let's look it up. That's why we have the thing called the internet. Steelers draft picks 2022. Boom. I know we have a first rounder. I know we got a second rounder. How many draft picks the Steelers have? Here we go. Full list of their draft capital. First rounder, number 20th overall. Second rounder, number 52 overall. Third round, number 84 overall. So we got a full complement of drafts, at least on day 1 and day 2. We got a fourth rounder, number 138. We lost our fifth rounder. That fifth rounder went to Witherspoon. When we picked up Witherspoon in that trade, we gave him our fifth rounder. Worth it, especially since he's coming back again this year. Sixth round, number 208 from the Chiefs. And seventh round, we have 2 picks. Number 225 from the Jets and number 241. I don't know if that Jets pick was part of the switch trade-off when we traded for Williamson. Avery Williamson to be in our strong safety. That might be the payback or the return from that draft. Not 100% sure on that. But looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We still get 7 picks. Just don't have a fifth rounder, and we have 2 seventh rounders. And yeah, because I think that third rounder is the fourth rounder is the compensatory pick. That should be the compensatory pick for Bud Dupree. So, yep, that's how we got it. Miles, what's your favorite football movie? Mine is Blindside. Growing up, I loved Wildcats. Would watch the crowd. I memorized the freaking rap at the end of Wildcats. Ha, ha, ha. My name is Finch. As you know, I used to sit on the bench. Money and food were necessities of life. Those are the things that keep me nice. But when I don't get them, I go berserk. And that's just like a 400-pound jerk. Yeah, that's me. I think Wesley Snipes was in that. I think Woody Harrelson was in that. Goldie Hawn was the coach. Phenomenal, way throwback football movie. And that was like one of my all-time favorite football movies. Yeah, I didn't really get into the replacements as much. That was filmed in Baltimore, though they said it was the Washington team, and that was Keanu as Johnny Utah. I like the one too, the comedy one. The comedy movie that had was that Kathy Ireland is the kicker, and yeah, that was a good one too. And now I remember the other movie. There's one with an English Premier League chain smoking kicker too, and I remember that one was funny too. But yeah, there were some good ones. The Longest Yard original one was really good too with Burt Reynolds. Some great football movies out there. I don't know if we're getting the Little Giants in that, but I usually am correct. Just ask me. Well said, my friend. Michael Hall, I heard between 2 teams that they're willing to give up 6 picks this year. I heard between 2 teams that they're willing to give up 6 draft picks this year. I don't understand the question. If there's 2 teams that are willing to give up 6 draft picks this year, I wouldn't want to give up draft pick. I think this is a great, talented defensive, offensive line, wide receiver draft. You can load up this year. Great talent. Quarterback, not so much. Like, I'm hoping this is all smoke and mirrors. We're not going to move up and draft a quarterback. We're going to stay pat, get a receiver, or get Hamilton if we can, get Davis if we can. Right there at the spot for interior linemen. We got some good options. Or if a stud corner drops, you never know. You never know how it's going to turn out. Necessary roughness. Yes. Thank you, Kenny. That's why this is such a fun show, because you guys can like tell me what these things are, like, as in real time. We can have the conversation. Necessary roughness. That was a great one too. Does anybody else remember Wildcats? Am I like the only one that watched that movie? I don't know. I watched the crap out of that movie. It was on VHS. We rented it. I think I watched it like 8 times. I definitely watched The Rap like 30 times, which is how I still have that in my head like 40 years after I've seen that movie. I saw that in like the 80s. back when Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson were starting their careers. And Goldie Hawn was the A-lister back then. That has to be mid-80s. Brian Brown, what is Edmund's asking price to re-sign with the Steelers? I'm thinking it's going to be like, he might want in the $6 million range. I don't think he's going to get it. I personally think his value, and it would have been $6 million if we signed him to his 5th-year option. We're like, no, I don't think you're worth that. We'll sign you for less. 2 to 4. That's my number for Edmonds. 2 to 4. And if we get him for that, I understand it. I like one team is giving up 6 picks to the other team. Oh, like one team is giving up 6 picks to another team to get a player or for something. I know that there's been some crazy, like that Hill trade. Holy crap, man. All the draft capital that was given up in that trade. It made me think, like, why couldn't we have just gotten some draft capital like that for Antonio frickin' Brown? Holy crap. Yeah, but the Denver Broncos gave up a ton of draft capital as well. That's probably what they were doing, but it was over 2 drafts. Yes. Yeah, so I think they gave up that amount over 2 drafts to Seattle for Russell Wilson. And it'll be interesting to see how they parlay those picks. Maybe try to move up, get a quarterback they want either this year, or try to bank them for next year to definitely get the quarterback they want. Get the best quarterback in the draft next year. That might be the idea. Tim Y, is that Michael J. Fox? I don't think Michael J. Fox was in... I can't think of a Michael J. Fox in a football movie. Offhand. You guys can correct me. But I don't recall him being in a football movie. I don't know. Wait, was it Teenage? Yeah, Teen Wolf. He was a basketball player, though. I don't think he played football. I think he was a basketball player in Teen Wolf. But he was not in Teen Wolf 2. I believe that was Jason Bateman in Teen Wolf 2. Teenage Wolf. This is great. This is like all of our old memories coming together in this amalgam of like messing up titles and messing up names of people. But we could all come, as soon as we start seeing the stuff, it all starts coming back. Teen Wolf was a great movie. Great movie. Would you give up draft picks for DK? No. I'm not giving up draft picks at all anymore, Kenny. I'm done. We need them. We're rebuilding. We need another quarterback. Got to repair a lot of stuff. Well, offensive line, we pretty much repaired in free agency. We don't even really have to touch that in the draft. Might draft another offensive tackle. We're not going to draft a single interior lineman. There's just nobody left on the team. Undrafted rookie free agents, yeah, we'll bring a couple in, but we're not drafting any interior linemen at all. We took care of it. But yeah, don't want to give up picks. Who was? Yeah, I told you in Wildcat. You had Woody Harrelson. You had Goldie Hawn. You had Wesley Snipes. I forget the other guys, but those are the 3 big ones. Because the Steelers waited till the whole league could see Antonio's cray-cray. Well, we were the only team that managed his cray-cray. Nobody else has been able to manage his cray-cray. That's something else. And that's only because the coach is like, sit down. Anytime you tell him to sit down, he does not want to sit down. That man does not want to sit down. He wants to stand and disrobe and run off the field naked. That's what he wants to do. Michael Hall, Dwayne Johnson in Gridiron Gang, or Jim Caviezel in When the Game Stands Tall. I didn't see either of those movies. Now I got to put those in my queue. I got to check those out, Michael Hall. Thank you for asking. And 2, whoever asked me the question too, what's your favorite football movie as well? Like we love these conversation stuff. So guys, we're getting, oh gosh, it's been an hour already. Man, this went quick. That's why I love this show. Love to talk with you guys, joke around, have a good time. Always a good time. So let me run down through the last chance for you guys to get your comments, questions in as I run down through the last things here, wherever I put my, I think I just shut it. Let's see if I can do it off the top of my head. I was a professional once. Guys, make sure you come on over to SteelerNation.com. Check out our great articles. Follow us on Twitter at SteelerNation or Instagram at SteelerNation.com. Facebook also at SteelerNation.com, which Kenny Beamer is jumping on as well. You can follow the podcast at _SN Podcast or on Twitter, on Instagram, at Steeler Nation Podcast. Follow the vidcast. Sign up on YouTube at Steeler Nation. YouTube.com, Steeler Nation. Really easy to find. Do it. Or follow me, Steeler Nation Stryker, Stryker spelled with a Y. Twitter, Instagram. You know, that's the way it goes. We're going back to you guys for final words. Anthony Michael Hall. Going back to, I always want to call you that every time I see the Michael Hall. Love your daughter's PJs. Hopefully her arm is okay. I do too. How's it feeling, sweetie? Cool. Come on over here. You can sign off with us. Be safe on the road, brother. Go Steelers. Thank you very much, Kenny Beamer. Michael Hall. You guys got it too. Thank you for joining us on the Steeler Nation Vidcast, part of the Big Play Vidcast Network. I'm your host, G Stryker, with V Stryker, Michael Hall, Kenny Beamer, rooting along with you as always. Go Steelers! No relation. Love it. I love it.